Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Prosperity by Jordan. We're talking about future things. But first of all, look how beautiful it is. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. Um, it's looking good. All right. So, what I'm going to be talking about here is the Brownies, Dog Pound. So, we all know that the Brownies were a horrible team, horrible, horrible team. And I just want to clear up that I am a Browns fan by default, only because I'm from Cleveland. And unfortunately, we have been doing very badly. And these are some key ways that I think that can turn around the Browns. Um, what I think we should do is several things. So, to me, this is going to be a 2 to 3 year process. The only way we can do this is if we just buckle down for one more year at least, um, in a losing situation, um, which I expect the Browns very well to do that. Um, so, some things that I think the Browns should be able to do that are very, very, very um, reachable. They have the assets to do all of these things. So going into this offseason, the Browns have different draft picks. They traded last year for the Philadelphia's first round pick from trade backs from last year's draft, and they also have different uh, different ways they can trade those assets for different players. Now, people are saying we should trade our 12th pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. I I'm kind of hesitant on that only because I don't think he could be a great player outside of Belichick's system. Now, if you can get him from with a lower price, like maybe a second rounder, um, go ahead and do it. But I don't think Belichick's going to give him up just for a second rounder. Um, do I think he's a good quarterback? He's solid. He's solid, but I wouldn't trade my second rounder for him, to be honest. I mean, I would, but I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm definitely be hesitant on it. People are talking about trading for the 12th pick for Garoppolo. I don't agree with that, especially knowing that there's going to be a very deep quarterback class next year in the draft of 2018. Um, there's going to be three quarterbacks in the top five that I think are going to be drafted. Number one pick, I believe, is going to be Sam Darnold, uh, out of USC. He, to me, has passed Josh Rosen from UCLA for the number one pick, only because Josh Rosen maturity is really low. Um, I don't think he can carry an NFL team. I don't think he's a franchise player. Um, he could be a solid player in the league, maybe a couple Pro Bowls, but I think Sam Darnold can definitely be your franchise player. He has the leadership skills of a franchise player, and I think he can be a perennial Pro Bowler for years to come. Now, the only way the Browns can get him though is to get another first or number one pick. Only way to do that is to have the worst record again. So, Browns fans, bear with me. We are going to have to bear another year of misery, which is not saying too much since the Browns have come back from Baltimore uh, back in the 90s. We have been in a losing situation pretty much every year. So you guys can wait one more year for a complete turnaround. Now, now, some missing points, missing pieces in the Browns on the Browns team is infinite. It's ridiculous. We have so many positions that we need to be filled. We have offensive linemen we need for depth and for regular starters. We need to reboost our excuse me. Our secondary, we need one or two cornerbacks. We need a couple safeties, um, and we need a couple pass rushers, and uh, definitely some linebackers. Okay, which is I've pretty much said every single position on the defensive side. All right, so other than that, listen, I definitely hold up on the quarterback for next year. Um, but I would definitely fill in all the rest of the positions with impact players. The only way you can win in this league is to have an elite defense with impactful players with the right mentality. If you have impactful, talented players but don't have the right mentality, you're not going to win. Simple as that. If you just look at Cincinnati Bengals have very talented players on their team, but they didn't have the right mentality. They don't look like they want to win. Um, they're not dogs, no pun intended. Um, so what I'm trying to get in my mentality, like if I was the GM, this is what I would do. I have $108 million going into this free agency period of cap space. Now that is the most in the league by far. Okay, I'm pretty sure the second most, I forgot who it is. I think they have like 100 million, or probably less than that. I could be wrong, but that's still a lot more. Okay. Um, Players I would like the Browns to get in the free agency period is, for one, Melvin Ingram, pass rusher out of the San Diego Chargers, or the LA Chargers now. Um, he can be a great fit for the Browns. You can never have too many pass rushers. All elite teams, the last 5 Super Bowl champions, have had elite pass rushers. They can get to the quarterback. To be a winning team, you have to be able to get to the quarterback and protect the quarterback. So, to me, you have to get Melvin Ingram. You're going to have to overpay because nobody wants to go to Cleveland, especially some guy who came from San Diego, California, to start living there for at least 4 years. Now, what I see the Browns also doing is picking up Eric Berry out of the safety out of Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you're really going to have to overpay this guy. But to me, the great thing about him is that he's very humble. He has that mentality because he's went through some things in his life that has definitely, he went through the cancer thing. He went through some hardships in his life. So definitely he has that heart. Definitely, you can't, not a doubt in your mind that he has that heart. He doesn't take for anything for granted because of that experience he's went through. So I think that's a great fit for the Browns to have on their secondary and on their team in general. Now, also, excuse me if I'm pronouncing this name wrong, AJ Boye or Boye. He's the cornerback that I would like the Browns to pick up. He's not a big time top target talent, but he's played very well last year. He's played multiple snaps, and he's held his own. So I'd like to have the Browns have him on the other side of the ball, on the other side of Joe Hayden. So to me, the Browns would have a pretty good secondary. So to fill in depth in the secondary, obviously you go through the draft. But that's in the later picks. I won't have enough time to get through those. So you have your secondary there. You also, I would try to pick up maybe another defensive end, defensive tackle. I would say K'Wan Short out of the Carolina Panthers is probably a reach, only because I don't think he's going to be coming to the Browns, and I don't think the Browns is very realistic, to be honest. So we're not going to be picking up 5, 6, 7 really good players at their position all in 1 year. I just don't think that's realistic. We're talking about realistic things, okay? So Um, anyways, so going through that also, the pending free agents that are on the Browns current Browns roster that I think we need to resign is Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor is a very impactful player on the offensive side. He is a big boy. I believe he's about 6'6", 235, something like that, 240. I would say can run like a deer. Has like 4.3, 4.4 speed, and can definitely go get the ball. On the other side of him, you have Corey Coleman, second-year player going into this season, and I think he's showed us enough glimpses for us to realize that he's going to be a impactful player in his career. So we have some receivers. I wouldn't be worried about receivers this year. You can never have enough receivers, but you don't need to pay too much money for receivers unless you're trying to retain. So, like I said with Terrell Pryor. Next, let's go through what my options are for the draft. So we have our linebackers. So we'd have we'd have Collins. We'd have our middle linebacker. We also have Kersey. Kersey was a top 5 leading tackler last year in the NFL, and I think he will get his start nod. Greg Williams, I believe, has a 4-3 scheme, so we're going to have, which means 4 linemen and 3 linebackers. So we'd have one middle linebacker. I think we can probably put Collins in there. If not, I believe we signed a linebacker from last year. He did pretty well. He held his own. He's a veteran. I forgot his name. Excuse me for not looking that up. But we have solid linebackers in there. Now, number 1 pick in the draft, without a doubt in my mind, I don't care that the video came out that he was joking or being silly about talking about he wants the Cowboys to be trading Romo and a couple picks to the Browns for him. No, Browns pick Myles Garrett. He's a once-in-a-generation player. He is 6'5", 270 pounds of animal. He is a football player mentality. He wants to go and get the quarterback. He is a big-time pass rusher. If not the best pass rusher in the last 10 years, he's definitely up there in the top 3. And no doubt in my mind you have to pick him up. We don't have that impactful pass rusher on our team currently. Next, number 12 pick. I wouldn't go for any other position but offensive line. We need some maulers down low. We need some big guys down low. So what I think the Browns are missing is a center and a right tackle. We need to fill those positions up quickly. The Browns losing Alex Mack to the Atlanta Falcons really hurt them and obviously benefited the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons would be in the Super Bowl without Alex Mack. So, saying that, we need a couple centers. To me, the best center in the draft is Pat Elflein from Ohio State University. He is 6'3", 300 pounds. He was a former wrestler, so you know he has that hand contact with those the monsters on the defensive line, and he is a great pickup. I would pick him up with your first pick in the second round. I believe the 33rd pick, and without a doubt he would have to be picked up there. What I would pick up with the 12th pick is this player Ran Ramczyk. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. He's a tackle out of Wisconsin, and I think he is an impactful player that we can get at number 12. A little bit of a reach, maybe trade back a couple picks, but if you think that he's the guy, then pick him up. I definitely think he's 6'6", 315 pounds. very agile, and I just think we just need another big guy on the other side of Joe Thomas on the offensive line. So grab him, Pat Elflein. If they're not available, then their backups would be Ethan Pocic out of LSU. He's a great center, option at center. He's 6'6", 310 pounds. Great feet. Also, I would pick up Cam Robinson. Now, he's had some issues in last year or last couple years at Alabama, where he was found in his car marijuana and a handgun. Now, that in itself, I think, is going to make him drop in the draft dramatically. Now, the Browns can probably pick him up at early second round, like I said, or their second round pick in the second round. So those are my 4 linemen that I would love the Browns to pick up. That's how I would improve the Browns. And like I said, wait for the quarterback. Don't rush on quarterbacks. Let's not win this year. Let's win the next year once we have our quarterback in place with our rest of our impactful players for the next year with another year experience. Thanks, guys. Once again, it's Prosperity by Jordan. And thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what how these videos are going. All right? Thanks. Signing off.